Hello and welcome to InView's live demo of Room View Direct. My name is Michelle Keenan. I'm a team member here, and what we're going to do is cover today how to set up your client's rooms directly to the IPS session or the client gallery in a very simple and useful way. So the reason why Room View is important to begin with is that it gives you the opportunity to service your client by sharing your images that you take of their family, friends, portraits, sports, whatever it might be, on a room on their wall in their home. So visually, if I can see something on the wall, a portrait of my family, or an art piece, I tend to make a purchase. So I am my own client as well. So I do know that, it's a useful tool. And again, we're always trying to build features and tools to help you make more money. So if you have an account with us and you would like to follow along, please feel free to do so. If you do have any questions, feel free to jot those in the chat and I will try to take a look at those throughout the duration. So this is a quick 30-minute tops. Just want to make sure that you guys are focused in on one of these tools. Last week we had covered how to set up an event. And so the next step would be, getting the room in communication with your client, and that way you have one set of tools that you can use to sell to your clients. So the key idea is whether an IPS session, a remote IPS session, or adding a room to a client's gallery, Room View Direct feature is a pretty simple way for clients to add their rooms to an event. So we're going to move forward and I'm going to show you how to add a guest room using Room View Direct. Hey there, Scott, welcome. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my camera, but I am going to share my screen. So follow along. All right. Okay, you should be able to see my browser with the event dashboard here. And I'm going to just make sure that I check the chat. Okay, so within your event dashboard, you would have created your first IPS session. So you want to go ahead and edit this, or if you are creating it as you go, you have that option right here. So in the in-person sales session, or the client gallery, and I'll show you that here in a moment, you will see a feature called Room View. So you want to make sure that that is toggled on right here. So when you toggle that on, you have access to see the rooms that InView has already provided as samples, or let me go back here, or you can see any guest rooms that were uploaded. And in the guest rooms right here, you'll see try Room View Direct. Okay, and so you want to click there and it gives you a whole nother set of options. And this is where you can either email or text the instructions directly to your client. So Scott or anyone else that's on this call and you want to give it a try, I recommend you go ahead and try that on your own. Or if you want to, text me your phone number, I'll send you a text and you can do those tasks right then and there. So if you do want to, go ahead and put your phone number in the chat and I will send you a link. I promised I won't text you all day, every day. Okay, good deal, Scott, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and add your phone number to this. So you could do an email or a phone number. I think it's really nice because a lot of your clients are going to be using their cell phone, to take the pictures. And so it's right there and handy if you just text them. So Scott, let me know when you got the text. And what it does is gives you the simple instructions, and I'm going to walk through that too myself so that I can share with everyone what that message is. Okay, don't want that. Go back. Okay, you got it, great. Sorry, I hit the wrong button here, guys. Okay, good deal. I'm gonna go back to this gallery, so my apologies, I hit the wrong button. All right, so I'm gonna text myself as well, and Scott should have, he received his, so we are going to see. Step. Okay, so I just texted myself. And so when I get the text message, it is going to be an unknown number that you're not used to seeing. And the instruction says, take a photo of your rooms to view in-view images as true sized wall decor in your photo gallery. So then there is a link that that client will open, and it says, enter your email address here. So your client will enter their email address, and they'll save it. And then once they've saved it, it gives you the instructions to upload your room. Now I am going to show you, there is this little help button down here, and we have those on each pages. So it you can type in, let's say, room view direct, and it will pop up anything that has to do with room view or the in-view direct. And so what your client is currently looking at, so if you're on my screen, you can see, oh, let me go back to that. I'm going to extend it so that you can see. Hopefully I'm still sharing. Okay, you're still seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so this is what your client is currently seeing, this message. And that says, upload your room. So you're going to level a tape an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to the wall where you want to display your art. Tap the camera icon to take a picture and upload your room. Okay, so that is the task that they're going to do. So then I'm going to take a photo. I'm just pretending. And I'm going to say use this photo. And then it's going to say upload. And it'll tell the client when it has been successfully uploaded. All right. So now I am going to close that window and make sure that I am still sharing. Okay, I am. And when I go back and I refresh to my guest rooms, I should now see 2 email addresses because I did it and then also Scott did it. So the email of the client is going to show up. And an important tip, it has to be the same email address when you start your sale because it's tied to that specific client's email. So Scott, you want me to delete room 1? I can do that. Absolutely. Okay. And then you can see I did that here for myself. I just did a test shot just so you can see what that looks like and explain the message. Okay, so like I said, when you begin your IPS session or your client gallery, the only time that those rooms are going to show up is if you are entering an event or a sales session utilizing the client's same email address. Otherwise, it won't show up. And I personally have done that myself. I'm like, the room's not showing up of my client. Well, you have to make sure you log in as that client, whether it's a client gallery or an IPS session. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, Scott, and I'm gonna open up your room and I'm gonna calibrate it. That's so cute. Look at the puppies. Okay, so I'm gonna calibrate this specific image. So when I pull that up, if you're looking here, it shows extra options here. So I can rotate the photo, I can upload a different photo, I can rotate the paper on the wall. So I'm going to do that because it looks like that's the paper right there. All right, so I'm going to just kind of modify that. And I can fine tune that because sometimes if you look, I'm not getting quite close enough. So you can fine tune that just so that it's calibrated, you know, as it should be. Now, here's another thing. Let's just say a client uploads an image to you, but they do not use the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can go in and measure an object yourself. So maybe it's an outlet. So maybe there's an outlet over here, or you know what size photo they've used before, or maybe it's the mantle size. You can measure an object in the room for calibration as well. But because there is a piece of paper on here, I am going to utilize that. So I am going to, oh, hold on, back. I'm going to rotate that and get it back where I had it. Then I'm going to fine tune it. So if you look here, I need to probably come in just a little bit more, and then I can hit save. So now that image for room view is calibrated and ready to go. Okay, and you want to make sure that you save up here at the top. All right, we got a chat here. So, okay, so the family room was 20 by 30. Absolutely. So you can measure any object. I mean, I've measured, you know, window sills or even the little electrical outlet on the wall. I've done that before. So, you know, just so that you can get as close as possible to that calibration. Okay, so once you've saved and you're ready to begin your sales session, when you go to room view and you look at the guest rooms, those are located there. And like I said, you want to start your sales session utilizing the same client's email. So, and then let me confirm your email, Scott, that you used. Give me just a moment. Okay. Okay. I hope that's okay that I'm using that. All right, make sure you put it in the email spot. Okay. All right. Did I not get it? Third time's a charm. Okay, I think I got it. All right, did I get that right? Yep, okay, save. All right, so I wanna make sure that when I start the sales session that I am using the correct client's information, because that email is tied to the room view direct email, okay? Because that's, if you have multiple clients with multiple rooms, you know, you would want to use the same email address if you're doing the sale at the same time, okay? Next step, and I'll just show you in single screen at this time what that appears and looks like. Am I still sharing okay? Yes, all right. Okay, so in the sales session, I now am going to start the sales session. You can get to room view multiple ways. You can get to it right here, or you can select an image and you can say order, select your size, and then make your adjustments and hit room view here. So now let's take a look and change the room. And we're going to go down and find the room that was uploaded. Okay, so here is the client's room. Obviously that's too big of a size, which that's why we're doing. Sometimes it needs to be larger and sometimes it needs to be smaller. Okay, so you can frame it if you want. You can mat it if you want. So you can put that, there is that spot. All right, and then you can save it for later or you can share it with your client. It's the magic of room view. Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions about room view? Get this out of my way here. All right. Checks my chats here, have that open. Okay. All right, so now that you have it on there, that is how you would utilize Room View Direct, and that just makes it so quick and easy. The email, yep. That is definitely something you want to make sure that you have connected, and that is something throughout InView as a whole, is you want to make sure that any action that has taken is tied to that specific client. So even if you do a sales session, in-person sales, whether it's remotely or, you know, they're in a studio, you want to make sure that you're not doing the sale in a preview mode because then any favorites, ratings, and orders will not be recorded because they are tied to that specific client's email. So, all right, so that is what I have on Room View Direct. And if there isn't any other questions, I will just take this back, and I want to go to the event dashboard and just show you where to locate that in a client gallery. It's the same steps, and it may already be in there. Let's take a look here. So Room View Direct. It is. So like I said, it's tied to that client. Once they're entered into that event, that still is an option. So if they, you know, if you're doing your initial sale with a client gallery, or you're doing a second sale and maybe they want to add additional images to their room, we do have those tools available for the client gallery as well. Okay. All right, well, I think that is a wrap for today's live demo as far as Room View Direct goes. If there isn't any other questions, I'm going to turn my camera back on here so I can say hello. And then we will see you next week for another live demo. We're going to create an IPS session and do that walkthrough and how those favorites and ratings relate to and pull over to a client gallery. But again, I appreciate you. Please feel free to join our Facebook group, our private group, Your InView Space, if you are not. And then there's some additional information that'll be there always. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Thanks, Scott. Take care. Bye-bye.